We are recording.
Okay. So I'm trying to fix this. It's been running and dripping and stuff. I don't know. A lot of times I fix stuff like this and it's like, yeah, it's not going to work because it never does. But we'll try. It already popped off once, so I'm not sure it's going to stay
So
on.
what are you replacing? A clapper valve?
So with it's also called, sometimes it's called the ball valve.
Oh yeah, the ball valve. Okay.
Okay. The problem is it has to fit on that thing, and if it comes off, let's see if flushing it's going to come off or not. No, it won't flush.
Of course not.
No, it won't flush at all now. Because it's too, see?
Yeah, too much play.
Yeah, it needs to have some of the play taken out. So,
Yay,
this is what often happens when you buy stuff for these old things. It's like one size fits all, which is what you have to get.
Yeah.
You can see what I got. Let's see. What is it?
Hi.
Universal.
Universal, right,
Yeah.
right.
So whenever you're doing that, that means universal for what? Everybody's shit except what you're doing.
Exactly.
It fits everybody's toilet but yours. But at any rate, so this is just one of the many fucking things I have to do around this place on a regular basis. Nothing ever works here. You know, so it's constant. So now I have to shorten this fucking chain, which never actually, by the way, works. Every time you do it, it winds up not working. But what you do is, you take it off. You take it off, and you move it down.
Move it down to another link.
You move it down to another link, and then hope that this one's going to work, but it may not either, because that's still not going to, well, it's up now, so let's see what it is in the down position. That's the down position. So that should be enough, we hope.
Yeah, we hope to give enough play to actually flush.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't want to do. It's not lining up right or anything else, so that's what happens.
It's not, because hello, universal. One
Yeah,
size
universal.
fits all.
One size fits all except your commode.
Right. Well, especially if you've got one as old as this one.
Well, any of them.
Any of them, really.
If
yeah.
you're in an old house, if you get anything that's over 5 years old anymore, they purposely made it obsolete. So, see, that won't fall down. Or maybe it will. Yeah, because you can just, yeah, this seems like it's going to work.
It looks like it might be right where it needs to be,
Let's see
actually.
if that's going to hang on. Is that still on? Yep, everything's on. We'll give it the old college try.
Okay.
And as always, if it doesn't work, we will come back later and I go, look, that didn't work with the fucking shit. Okay, because of course this is just part of, I got that because I got tired of it. Okay, so I will tell you this little hack.
Because that was so
See
clever.
this little stress ball?
Yep.
I've used this both times when I've had to change the ball thing out, because almost always in these older houses, the shut-off, you can see I have a shut-off. If you turn that shut-off off, it leaks everywhere.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it doesn't really work, that shut-off. Put in another one? You do it! So anyway, so when I take the old one out, because you always want to take the old one out and take it with you,
To hold.
so that you can find a universal one that'll actually maybe work.
Right.
So in the meantime, you either got water running either in the toilet tank the whole time,
Or
or
on
you've
the
got
floor.
to turn it off all the way out there.
Right.
Or you've got it turned off down there and it's dripping everywhere. So if you just take, this is just a little rubber, any rubber ball will work. This happens to be a stress ball on top of it, works really good, about that size ball. You just stick it over the hole.
And what an amazing thing.
And then it stays shut the whole time you're gone, so you can go get the part.
And what did we decide? You can actually flush the toilet that way, and then you've washed your hands.
Okay, people, in a pinch, your ball valve is ball gasket is completely gone. You just use a ball, reach in, undo it.
Right, right. Yeah, it works. Flush plumbing.
What,
Amazing.
you're better than me? You think you're better than me? Okay.
Good for now?
So, no.
Okay.
So the main thing I had to do was the other day, so the thermocoupler went out in the water heater.
Right,
So I changed it.
right. And it worked great.
And it worked great for a little while, but it was burnt completely through.
Right.
And that's not right. Okay?
The old one was, yeah.
The old one was. Well, what had happened was there was a tiny pinhole in the bottom of the tank, which had apparently put out the pilot light, and probably that just having that pinhole in there had caused enough corrosion that that's probably what happened to the thermocoupler. But when I got it all fixed, and it was working really good, and the water was really hot,
Yeah.
the extra heat and tension opened that out, and it started leaking worse. It flat put the pilot out,
Yep.
and there was water in the floor. So
Yay.
now I have to do several things.
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, you've pulled out the water heater.
First off, the water heater's out.
Yeah, the water heater is gone.
See, as you can see, water heater is gone.
gone.
I pulled that out yesterday. Yes, we could have gotten footage of that, but I was a little annoyed. But most of the time when you're not getting footage this time of the year, it's because Lynn's off doing something with her mom and her sister, and there's nobody here to film.
But this time wasn't the case.
A lot of shit is not getting filmed because there's nobody to film it. Okay, so I'll show you this real quick. So my son, when he was here helping me put the thermocoupler in a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks. It only lasted
Whenever it
2 or
was,
3
yeah.
weeks. That fix only lasted 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so he gave me, I didn't have a decent, he said, Mom, you don't have a good bright headlight, and here, take this one. So he gave me this one. Okay, so it's nice and bright.
Yeah.
Okay, so here was the problem. It didn't have anything to go on your head. In fact, he had it tied up and it was falling completely apart because it apparently had gotten left in the sun. You leave elastic in the sun, it goes back quick. So to fix it, I took the thing off the back.
The buckle, yeah.
Yeah, the buckle off the back and put it aside. And then I got a top of a pair of my old Fruit of the Loom shorts. See? Fruit of the Loom. And so now I have Fruit of the Loom, and look how good it works.
That's amazing. You've always wanted to put them on your head anyway, so there you go.
You know, I've always worn underwear on my head ever since I was a kid. My aunt tells everybody that. My aunt's like, my niece, the famous author, I remember when she used to eat dog food and wear underwear on her head.
Yeah.
You know, last week. Okay, so you can see what has happened. What has happened is we've had to deal with, I should give you some light. Okay, so we've had to deal with all kinds of shit, but mostly we're dealing with fucking, it gets wet, it rots, it's too much weight in one area. I have put underneath, which we didn't get to show you, but underneath, or maybe I did, I don't remember if I crawled around with the camera or not. At any rate, underneath this, I put pressure-treated boards and everything else. So the biggest problem I'm going to have now is figuring out if my drain hole, which I originally put in here, got anything under it. Okay, because what I'm going to do is, I'm old. So when I fix something, I want it to stay fixed. Also, this is a misogos mess. This is actually pressure-treated plywood. But you can see how badly it's warped from having the weight of the thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour that full of concrete and put it in a drain hole. So I never have to do this again. And it's also going to cover up all this fucking big-ass mess. I always like to clean everything first, because let's face it, once you get that water heater in this, you're never cleaning this shit again till the water heater goes out, right?
Right.
Or am I the only one that doesn't, tear their house apart to clean the freaking water heater thing? Anyway, you can see it's a mess. Well, that's caused water heater. Okay, so I had just drilled a hole in the floor before, which, not a great idea, because although that looks like a little bitty hole, it dawned on me, a fucking mouse could get through that.
Of course, a mouse can get through.
Yeah, because mice.
Everything.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, and also because I want it to drain straight through, I'm going to put a pipe in. I'm going to drill it out better first. I think I might have covered up my hole.
No.
I hate when that happens. I hate when you cover your hole. So I'm going to get out my trusty drill.
Talk about plumbing issues.
I know, right? Cover up your hole. What the hell? Nobody likes that, right? Okay, so let's see what do we got here.
Paddle bit.
Paddle bit. 3/4. I don't know. 3/4 is going to be big enough. Oh, it's freaking perfect.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so now I'm going to get a battery pack. That's not a battery pack.
Oh, it needs power? Really?
Yeah, it needs power. I'll take it off my driver. Take the bigger battery off my driver. It has more power. I'm going to try to drill a hole.
Yeah, the
I
paddle
promise nothing.
Paddle bit takes a lot of power.
Yeah. Well, especially if it's going through wet, nasty, maybe
Pressure treated.
maybe down there as much as a 2x4. If not, I put a. Uh-oh. getting something. That ain't ready. Okay. Okay, I definitely don't have an out there, so let's try here. Let's try
Over a little bit.
over a little bit. I would like to center it, but it doesn't seem like I can. It seems like that is... It seems like I have put a board over the top of it. Which I blame you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I put a board over the top of it. I wasn't watching what I was doing. So now my drain area is not going to work, so... And I have no idea...
Exactly where the board is.
Well, let's try. Here's a little trick. I can get myself 3/4 of an inch more, maybe. But I can also break my bit and or get it stuck in the hole, too. Hell, there's probably a 4x4 under there.
Of
So
course.
that's not going to work. So, damn it. I need to center that hole. I may not be able to. And what I want is, so if something goes wrong with the damn water heater, I want the water to drain out through the floor instead of draining all over our freaking bathroom.
Right, right.
That's what I'm shooting for. But that's not going to work. Let's try one here. Yay!
That one went through.
Pay dirt! Okay, so now once again we'll vacuum up the big mess I
Oh,
made.
it's not that far off center.
No, not that far. Okay, so now I'm gonna, see what I mean? Fill. It's gonna be covered with cement, but still,
Yeah,
there's
I
no
know.
sense in having that underneath it all. Okay, so now, what I wanna do is I wanna pour this deep enough that I don't have to worry about it. And see, I wound up doing that with that shoved into, shoved out
right.
to the top. Okay, so now I'm gonna do another trick.
Did you say you needed to take care of that one for the overflow
Yes, I'll do
too?
that too.
Okay.
I don't want it.
Okay. Sorry.
Thanks
Sorry.
for getting me off track.
Sorry.
There you go.
I did that.
Uh-oh. There's plumbing or something there. Okay, I can put it through there.
Well, there's going to
Okay.
be concrete there anyway, so.
There's concrete up there anyway. Okay, so... Okay, but to keep it from getting pulled out while I'm pouring the concrete, what I'm going to do is... Really fancy. This is going to be really fancy. This is what you got to remember. When you do shit like this, it's going to be covered up with concrete anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see if that's the same width as my nail. It seems to be. Okay, so this is really a fancy face. Okay. I'll put this in here.
So a small drill bit about the width of your nail.
Hopefully the exact same size, because... But if it's not, I'll just ream it out. Okay. So we want it to go we want it to be at least that deep in the center. Okay. Because we want it to be strong, even in the center. Okay. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to drill a hole. Okay. Now, where's my nail? Okay, so now put the nail through.
Oh my goodness.
And now when I stick it through,
There's no way it'll
that
fall
should keep
through.
it from going through the floor if I don't lose it out of there first.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so that should keep it from going through the floor. So now I will put the cement in and slope it down. If that's sticking up at all, I'll grind it off with a Dremel tool. What?
Okay, the light down there so I can actually show them what you've done. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I've got to get this in. Now this was in here before and some asshole stupidly took it out. So this will be, I'll hook this, no, it's not what you're supposed to use. It's what I'm going to use. I will hook this to the tank where the overflow is on the in case of emergency off thing where it would blow into blow, so it'll blow it under there too. So hand me some Vaseline.
Alrighty then. I'm turning off for a second.
Or some K-Wood.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, so it didn't go back in. Of course not, because life. So now I'm going to take Vaseline. And I'm just going to fill the whole thing with Vaseline.
Oh, okay.
First off, that's a great way to preserve the wood.
No kidding.
But at any rate, I'll just smear that up. Okay. And now, let's see if I can shut it down here. With a little less trouble, but not. Come on, you fucker.
The problem is that, yes, it was in there before, but the wood has been wet. So, of course, it's... There it goes. Yay!
Okay, so, and I need that up just enough that I can hook the hose to it from the thing, and that it won't get... But I wanted to do that before, of course.
Before you put anything in.
So, you'll remember these from the bottom of my chair that I took apart. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to space these out in here for reinforcement. To reinforce the concrete when I put it in here. So that...
So it's basically what rebar, just not...
It's rebar only, this is sprung steel, so
it's
kind of... Except for it's not as thick, this is actually better than rebar because it's actually sprung steel, so... It's got a tensile strength and stuff. So anyway, when I pour the concrete, it'll of course seep underneath and everything else. And I'm using fast setting cement to do this with, because I want to be able to put this water heater, because as of this point, we've been without a water heater for 2 days. So
we're doing fine.
We're doing fine. We do have the other house where we can go shower and stuff. But my mother lives with us. That's a little trek for her to go shower. So, you know. At any rate, so we need to...
Would you like me to put that away?
Get it fixed as soon as possible. So that's what I'm doing. So now I'm getting ready to go mix the concrete.
Okay.
And then I'll bring it in and I'll put it in and hopefully I'll be able to slant it. Like I said, if the pipe is sticking up too much, I will take my Dremel tool and just grind the motherfucker off.
Yep, there you go.
But hopefully it won't be. Hopefully I'll have enough that I can, because I kind of want to get it up a little bit because that'll make it easier to service. It'll be easier to service this model if it's up off the floor a little bit. So I've got 50 pounds of cement. We'll see how far it'll go.
Sounds good. Going away.